Hello, sir.
Hi, Chor. Hi.
Sir, HG अभी नहीं आ पाएगा. He might join later. उसकी लाइट गई हुई है, बैटरी नहीं है फोन में और लैपटॉप में भी.
तो बोला कर कि इन्फॉर्म तो कर दे इसे.
Okay, I'll tell him. Yes.
हाँ, मतलब शुड इन्फॉर्म ना, ऐसा कुछ होता है तो. जेन्युइन रीजन होता है तो कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं होती है.
नहीं, मतलब he told me कि बता देना सर को, क्योंकि वो मैं I called
मैं
him.
I was waiting for him. Otherwise, we would have started like 5 minutes back.
Oh,
I thought usually 5:40 तक ही everyone joins in and we start. That's why.
right.
ठीक है. Questions किए?
I've reached about 80th.
ठीक है. Let's discuss those. आज mainly वही करेंगे हम.
Okay.
Theory next time करेंगे because questions are more important. अच्छा, पहले ये वाला समझ गया था क्या? 18th question जो था, were you able to understand that? जिसका मैंने
18th was
भेजा था.
throwing the stone up.
Sorry.
The projectile motion.
Yes, the projectile motion one. जहाँ पे वो लड़की, she was standing on a ledge and threw a stone.
Yeah, so I solved it myself as well, and I did it using. I said I will do the loop first, and then the straight way down. And उसमें for me it was more clear मैं क्या कर रहा था. So my sign, I understood what it meant.
So there are two methods to do it. As I shared, मतलब उसमें मैंने मेथड 2 किया नहीं था क्योंकि उसमें टाइम लग रहा था मुझे. आई मीन आई डिडंट गेट द टाइम एट दैट टाइम. सो लेट्स बट क्योंकि हमारे को मेन जो कंफ्यूजन हो रहा था वो हो रहा था कि वो माइनस साइन क्यों आ रहा है, राइट? दैट वाज अ मेजर कंसर्न. सो दैट्स व्हाई आई जस्ट डिड दैट पार्ट ऑफ इट. सो आई विल एक्सप्लेन इट क्विकली. See, the issue that we were facing was जो हमारा टाइम है उसके अंदर जो रूट आ रहा था, the root that we were getting, उसमें नेगेटिव वैल्यू आ रही थी. and the negative value was coming from taking our displacement as negative, right? But where we went wrong, or what I did in the question incorrectly, was the assumption that it's the same motion. It's not the same motion because there are two parts to the motion. One where the girl is standing and the stone goes up, and the second motion is when the stone is up and it's going down. Right? So जब यहाँ से ऊपर जा रहा है, this is negative displacement because the motion happens opposite to the direction that we've taken positive. Okay, we've taken the downwards direction as positive, right? So when this happens, the first leg of the motion, this is where this is a negative displacement. Okay, this is clear. But when the stone goes from here to down, now this motion itself is happening in positive direction.
Right.
And this displacement is finally what? If this is taken as 0, then this will be positive, whatever the value is. And this is exactly what we want. ठीक है? That's why जो हमने displacement उसके अंदर लिया है, it won't be negative, rather it would be positive. And as soon as we take that, हमारा ये जो result है वो positive में आ जाता है root के अंदर, and then it becomes straightforward from there. ठीक है? So that was the main criteria कि यहाँ पे ये जो हम S लेंगे, that would be positive in the second motion. ठीक है? In the second motion, because there are two motions happening simultaneously. And the second so this was the first method where we break up the whole motion into two parts and do it. The second motion is the second method is directly from here to here. राइट, क्योंकि हमें क्या चाहिए, टोटल टाइम चाहिए. सो वी कैन ऑल्सो डू कि the final displacement is what? Again, the final displacement is positive. This
Right.
is the second method where we are not breaking it into two motions, but we are just considering the final method, the final displacement, which is positive. Okay. So again, we use the same formula, which is S is equals to ut plus half at square. इसमें S की जो value है, this will be positive, whatever this is. So we have to find this displacement.
Right.
Okay. First, we have to find this displacement, and this displacement would be positive because we are going from here to down, and we have taken the downwards motion as positive. So the initial and final position का जो difference आएगा, that is positive, and ut would be, u would be minus 15 or whatever the
Right.
value is, क्योंकि वो शुरू में ऊपर की तरफ जा रहा था. So minus 15. T is the total time taken. So this is the T total that we want. This is what we want to find. Half G, G is the acceleration, and this would be in positive because G is always down. Okay. And T is again the same time total. So this becomes a quadratic equation in T.
Right.
It becomes a quadratic equation in T. And as any quadratic equation, there will be two answers, two results to it. पता है ना क्वाड्रेटिक इक्वेशन कैसे सॉल्व करते हैं?
Yes.
ठीक है, there's the formula minus b plus plus minus
b
plus minus is key. ठीक है, plus minus आता है root of
b square minus 4ac by 2a.
b square minus 4ac by whole by 2a. So
Right.
plus minus का मतलब ये है कि there will be two results, right? So we take the one which is positive because time cannot be negative. So we take the one which is positive.
Right.
बस.
I was thinking of using the other formula as well.
Which is the other formula?
With the one without time. Where you say
minus u square.
Yes. So where u will be minus 15 and
नहीं, but we don't know the v, तो v
don't know
हमें
that.
निकालना पड़ेगा.
We don't know that, right?
उसका कोई यूज भी नहीं है ना, उसका कोई यूज भी नहीं है.
Oh, right. Sorry, I'm just blindly trying to see what's happening in other things.
हाँ, because eventual answer that we want to get is t, and t is only there in two aspects. नहीं, उसमें भी काम में ले सकते हैं because we know a, we know g, we know g, we know s, we know u. तो उधर से हम v निकालेंगे and then we can use the v equals to u plus at वाला formula and वहां से भी आ सकता है. ठीक है, so उधर से भी आ सकता है हमारे पास.
Right.
Let me think if that is the right. Yeah, उसमें भी आ सकता है because हम जो displacement लेंगे वो ये वाला लेंगे.
Right. For that displacement and for the minus 15 initial velocity, we'll find the final velocity.
Say that again.
We don't. If you want to use the equation without the time, we need to find the final velocity, which we don't know.
Yes. So we want to find, not here, sorry. We want the final velocity over here, right before it touches the ground. Because ground पे touch करते तो it will be 0. But right before it touches the ground, what is the final velocity? That's what we want to find.
उससे मिल जाएगा और फिर वो v equal to u plus at.
हाँ. वहाँ से v equals to u plus at. U again we will be using minus 15.
Minus 15.
ठीक है, तो वहाँ से भी आ जाएगा. ठीक है.
Okay.
Fine. इसका जो दूसरा वाला था 32 आई थिंक जो बोला था वो अभी तक मैंने देख नहीं पाया था. But I'll get
the
to
32
it
was P and Q, the two boxes.
हाँ.
But we said the answer should be 0 newtons.
हाँ, मतलब it wasn't very convincing. कुछ उसमें प्रॉब्लम आ रहा था, मतलब
See, what I was thinking was in like 32, since they're talking specifically about Q, and the system they've said, the system which is at constant speed, which is in equilibrium, is the system which includes P and Q.
Yeah.
So by that logic, I can say for sure कि Q पे 0 newtons तो लग नहीं रहे. उससे it has to be one of the other
प्रॉब्लम क्या था? We weren't getting the right. हाँ, इसमें काफी सारे हमारे फोर्सेस आ रहे थे जो कि we didn't consider. That was the major issue कि हमारे को सारे इस पे external forces देखने थे. तो so what I came to the conclusion was कि this question hasn't been framed very well.
Right.
Okay, so it doesn't have the right data or the right information to be very clear. Okay, so हम कहीं ना कहीं we are using hypothetical things. Hypothetical as in अच्छा ये नहीं हुआ तो इसलिए ये लगा देते हैं और उससे try कर रहे हैं. So we are doing hit and trial rather than actually solving something because the information isn't very clear. It hasn't been framed very well. Okay, that's the conclusion that I came to. But मैं और देख लूंगा इसका कि कुछ मिस तो नहीं कर रहे हैं हम क्योंकि I looked at it but still I couldn't come
मुझे ये
to a very
समझ नहीं
clear.
आया, how would we use the friction? I mean, we don't know what the magnitude of friction is. We don't know
No, we
what do you call
know.
it?
See, that's where this comes in, no? So
But
इसमें
we don't know mu.
we don't know mu, but see the whole thing is कि the both boxes move with constant speed. Now, when they're
Right.
saying constant speed, that means there should not be any external force. Then finally, there should not be any external force because at constant speed there would not be any external force. Total external force नहीं होगा. Right? There will be external forces, but in total there would not be any external force.
Right.
Right? क्योंकि अगर in total there would be an external force तो acceleration होता तो वो constant speed पे नहीं चलता. ठीक है? You can do it either way. So यहाँ पे क्योंकि constant speed बोला है तो we can consider that in the horizontal direction because this is where it's moving the force is 0. External force, total external force is 0. तो वहां पे अब एक force तो हम लगा रहे हैं which is F, right? Because F P पे लग रहा है और P same force उस पे डालेगा Q पे. अब Q के ऊपर एक frictional force भी लग रहा है which is F S, ठीक है? Frictional sorry F dynamic क्योंकि it is moving. Right. So F dynamic will be equals to F, capital F जो हम लगा रहे हैं. Only then क्योंकि horizontal direction में they are cancelling each other out, so the total external force will be 0 and that's why it's moving in constant speed. Now F dynamic हाँ, so हमारे पास हमें क्या निकालना है? Resultant force on box Q निकालना है. हाँ, तो वही हो गया. अब F dynamic हमने बोला is equals to 30 newtons. Okay, minus of 30 rather, your direction would be opposite. F dynamic is equals to mu dynamic into R, and R कितना आएगा? R is equals to mg, so 440 ले लेते हैं हम. R will be equals to 40. I'm taking G as 10, right? So हमारे पास mu d आ जाएगा यहाँ से. Although this is not useful, but हम निकाल लेंगे. ठीक है? So अब mu d निकालने से कोई फायदा नहीं हुआ क्योंकि resultant here has to be 0. मतलब जब 0 है तभी तो हम ये सिनेरियो बोल रहे हैं. ठीक है?
Right.
So horizontal में it needs to be 0, the total resultant force, and ऊपर नीचे में भी there's weight and there's the reaction force. So that should also be 0. Now the confusion last time was कि कि हम इस पे I remember saying something like this कि इस पे ऐसा एक resultant force आएगा. ऐसे कुछ बोल रहा था मैं. I'm not able to remember it. But yeah, मतलब इसका नहीं हो रहा है, ये बहुत क्लियर नहीं हो रहा है क्वेश्चन. It makes sense कि ये जीरो ही होगा. ठीक है, I'll look it up further. Next बता. Let's go forward from here.
Right. I think my dad just solved it, but I'll ask him.
Sorry?
Oh no, my dad was interested and he just wants a question here. So I think he's saying he. So I'll ask him. And
Ask him.
okay, it'll take a minute. Sir, so what he said was he told me to make a free body diagram, and then he said, "जो box P है, उस पे force F लग रहा है of 30 newtons. We know that, and it's also experiencing a wait, but ठीक है, so we know that, huh?
So F
Yeah,
minus whatever reactive force.
which is responsible for the friction.
No. Reactive force से मेरा मतलब था कि the reaction of the other block. If I push you push me back, right?
Right. अच्छा, okay,
That force. So F minus whatever reactive force
is equal to the friction.
equal to the friction. And for the second block, the reactive force is equal to the friction.
All right.
Has to be, right?
Right. I think I got it.
So solve the second equation first, the first equation next, because you need the reactive force.
Right.
And if it happens. Not solve it.
Right. So we have to. So the first force F, we know that there is a. So we have to form a. We'll first form a equation for P, then we'll form an equation for Q.
How will we form an equation for P?
So we know 30 newtons, and we know that this Q will put the third law, Newton's third law of force back on it. And there'll be a friction. And since we know P is not accelerating, these all need to cancel out.
So F, which is 30, should be equals to friction D plus FQ. ओके, इसके ऊपर भी लग रहा है FQ, FP, DQ. I'll explain once. यहाँ से FQ निकलेगा मेरे पास. It has to be 0 यार. I don't think, मतलब, so I'm not sure if I got your dad correctly, but essentially what I did was made a free body diagram for P where F will be equals to F dP, which is the frictional force, dynamic frictional force on P, plus F of Q. F of Q is the reactionary force by Q on P. This makes sense? तो अब मैंने उनको equal कर दिया. Why did I make it equal? Because P is moving at a constant speed. That means the horizontal forces needs to equalize. So I made them equal. But the whole point of this equality is कि जैसे ही मैंने यहाँ पे equal किया, Q के ऊपर भी same चीज apply हो जाएगा कि उसमें भी horizontal forces will be 0. So if the horizontal forces are 0 and the vertical forces are already 0, because we know it's not moving in any direction up or down, so the resultant force as a whole is automatically 0. Does
Okay.
this make sense?
Yeah, so the forces in the free body diagram, both in the horizontal and the vertical
Yeah.
domain, are cancelling.
Yeah, I mean, they have to cancel out if I'm taking the first assumption. The problem here is that is this assumption correct or not, which is only dependent on that word constant. So when I'm saying it's constant speed, automatically I'm taking an assumption because the wordings is not very clear. The question isn't very clear. Ki if it's moving at a constant speed, it has to be 0, the horizontal forces. As soon as I do that for P, the same applies for Q because Q is also moving at constant speed. So the horizontal forces cancel out. Koi se bhi forces ho, they cancel out. The vertical forces already cancel each other out. So the resultant force has to be 0 and there's no option now.
Okay.
ठीक है? चल, let's go forward. कौन सा है next?
We did 37. हाँ, ये हो गए. And so the doubt I had after this was in 42.
37 में एक कुछ बच गया था ना? कौन सा बच गया था? 38 भी हम लोगों ने कर लिया था.
37 उसमें there was it was about potential energy becoming kinetic
वो
energy.
तो we have to take a second pass at the whole worksheet उसके लिए तो. इसमें repetitive questions भी हैं at some points.
Yes, I noticed that.
हाँ. वो पूरा बहुत सारे questions जो होते हैं तो it gets difficult for me to check each and every one.
Right.
ठीक है. कौन सा बोला?
42.
42. Okay. 42. A ball falls vertically, bounces off the ground immediately before impact with the ground, the speed of the ball is u. Immediately after leaving the ground, the speed is v. Which of the following expression is the ratio of kinetic energy lost? Again, ये
I mean, I have
work energy का है ये भी फिर से.
तो बस कर दिया मुझे अब. So okay.
हाँ, मतलब बहुत easy है. It's not that difficult. कर देता हूँ. U नीचे आ रहा था, V ऊपर जा रहा था. Which of the following expression is the ratio of kinetic energy lost on collision upon kinetic energy immediately before collision? Okay. So kinetic energy immediately before collision is this. ये तो clear है. Kinetic energy lost on collision is this. ठीक है? Because again, this we are taking this, that is initial minus final, because we are saying कि it is lost and energy cannot be मतलब इसको उल्टा कर देते हैं एक बार. Let's see what comes when we change it, क्योंकि negative आना चाहिए energy. Okay, so अगर thermodynamics किया हुआ हो, have you done thermodynamics by any chance?
Thermal physics, but I don't think that's the same thing.
It's not the same thing, but essentially when energy is lost to the surroundings, we take it in negative form. So negative energy of any, कहीं पे भी negative energy आती है तो we say कि that is energy that is lost to the surrounding. ठीक है, तो यहाँ पे भी ऐसे ही होगा, because we are saying कि we have lost energy, so this should be in negative, right? It would be in negative क्योंकि v is less than u, so automatically it will be negative. So I'm trying to figure out कि कैसे आएगा इसमें, if it matches with the result in some
But
way.
why would we need to switch them?
Because
U का
loss,
direction will indicate the sign, right? And V का direction, because एक नीचे जा रहा है एक ऊपर जा रहा है.
नहीं,
अच्छा, but there's square.
Yeah, I mean we did square क्योंकि mv square तो हो गई, but essentially हम energy final minus energy initial करेंगे ना.
Kinetic energy lost. If it won't it be the yes, yeah.
ठीक है, so ideally it should be negative. Again, ideally it should be negative. That is, the numerator would be negative and this would be positive. But again, because the wording isn't 100% accurate, मतलब तो we'll have to check कि if it matches with the answer. So यहाँ पे हमें match करके देखना पड़ेगा कि कौन सा हो रहा है. So let's see over here what comes in. Half m will cancel each other out. So I'm left with v square minus u square upon u square, which is v minus u ka whole square minus 1. Let's see if this is the case. I don't see it anywhere. That means ये उल्टा ही है. So kinetic energy lost का उल्टा ही किया था. Therefore the answer would be u square, sorry, 1 minus v square minus u, v square 1 minus v upon u का whole square. समझ गया? Which is the D1. ठीक है?
Yes, sir.
Quite simple. Next, 43 है क्या?
40. Wait, I went आगे थोड़ा. 43 was fine, I believe. Railway engine mass and moves longer. No, this is power of the engine. I probably skipped this.
Okay, ठीक है. Makes sense. Next.
45.
44 हो गया था?
A ball is the
net force acting on the ball पूछा हुआ है.
It should be in A की direction में.
Nope.
This is circular motion. Uniform speed in a vertical rotated. Yeah, it's. So for circular motion to take place, there needs to be a net force in the direction of the center.
It would be B. No. Sorry. The net force would be A. Correct. My bad. It would be A. Okay. 45. A gas atom strikes a wall with a speed v at an angle theta to the normal of the wall. The atom rebounds with the same speed v and angle theta, which is the following gives the magnitude of momentum change of the gas atom. क्या try किया इसमें? What did you try?
सर मैंने एक क्वेश्चन पहले देखा हुआ मुझे इसका भी समझ नहीं आता.
क्यों?
मतलब I've seen this question before, like in papers. तो मुझे कभी समझ नहीं आता ये.
काफी simple question है यार, इतना क्या? See what is happening is essentially ये जो है this is the momentum will have two components again. So we have to divide this component, divide this momentum into two components. One would be the vertical component, the other would be the horizontal component. ठीक है? Now theta has been given with the horizontal, so this becomes what? This becomes mv cos theta. The horizontal component becomes mv cos theta.
Right.
Right? ये
हाँ,
theta
I
है तो
just
इसका
did it mentally, yeah.
हाँ तो और ये कितना हो गया mv sin theta हो गया. Now when the ball is coming back, do not get confused. ये सब अलग नहीं है, ये इसी के ही component है. ठीक है? ये दोनों right angle पे इसी के ही component है. ठीक है? Why are we able to do that? Because v is a vector quantity. So vector के हम always we can take components. We can always show it as a resultant of two perpendicular vectors, and that's exactly what we are trying to do.
All right.
ठीक है? Now the resultant momentum, ये जो आया इसका भी momentum हमें क्या बोला गया है? It's the same as mv. Okay, but the problem here is the change in direction. So it's actually not exactly mv, so it's changed direction. So we have to consider that as well. So अब again in the vertical thing there is no change in direction or speed or anything. So this stays the same.
Right.
This stays the same. ठीक है? But here when it's going back, इसका कितना हो गया? Minus mv cos theta.
So it's 2mv sin theta.
Yes. So the resultant, the final would be magnitude of momentum change. Again, वैसे कितना आएगा momentum? Minus mv cos theta minus of mv cos theta. समझ गए? Initial, final minus initial, right? So it will be minus 2mv cos theta. This is delta p. अब ideally this should be the case, but हमें magnitude पूछा है, so we'll just be writing 2mv cos theta.
Okay. Well, but the answer is.
The answer is.
So wait, you found the change in momentum here in this question. They were, what were they asking in this question? Yeah.
The momentum change, magnitude of momentum change.
So but आप यहाँ पे 2mv cos theta आ रहा है, वहाँ ऊपर 2mv sin theta आ रहा है.
कहाँ आ रहा है?
When we made the free body. Yes.
Free body थोड़ी बनाएंगे यहाँ पे.
Well, not the free body diagram. I mean, we showed the momentum in terms of vectors.
Yeah, we are showing the momentum in terms of vectors. इस तरह से there are two components to it. One is the horizontal one is the vertical one. The vertical one does not change. This is the initial and final हो रहा है ये, ठीक है? Do not confuse it with two different balls. It's the same ball.
Right.
Initial and final. ठीक है? So initial में vertical में जो था वो final में भी same है. So there's no change over there.
Oh, अच्छा, I see.
But हाँ, but the initial horizontal में जो था that was mv cos theta. Okay, and we are taking that direction as positive. That's why we've taken v as positive when it's moving towards the wall. So when it's coming back from the wall, we've taken the velocity becomes negative of it. So m minus mv cos theta हो गया, and that's why final minus initial. Always जब भी change लेते हैं हम final minus initial करते हैं, ठीक है? So this is my final momentum. This is my initial momentum. Right? जैसे मैंने ये किया, I will get my change in momentum as this. ठीक है? अब
Right.
इसको और perfect बनाने के लिए we can take this delta p in horizontal या x axis पे जो delta p आया वो इतना आया. Delta p in y direction is 0. Why 0? क्योंकि इसमें कोई change ही नहीं है. mv sin theta minus mv sin theta हो जाएगा. So I'm only left with this change and this is my answer.
Right. I was treating them as two different things. So that's why.
Yes.
That's why I made
You were
it.
thinking of them as two different objects and that got you confused.
Right.
ठीक है? अब suppose यहाँ पे भी कोई change आता. Suppose I had say some random mv by 2 अगर होता, चलो. I'm taking it as a random thing. Suppose I had a change in y-axis, that is the horizontal axis में इतना change आता. Now how would I give the final answer? How would I give the answer? Which is the magnitude of momentum change I need to tell. What is the final magnitude of change in momentum?
I mean, you could describe it itna vertical itna change ho, itna horizontal itna change ho.
So one is this कि हम p of x delta px लिख सकते हैं, delta py लिख सकते हैं. So this is one way to do it. The other way to do it is delta p. Again, delta p is what? It is itself a vector. And delta p is broken down into two components, these and this. So delta p magnitude will be what? Root of delta px ka square plus delta py square. This is pure Pythagoras theorem, simplest form. आगे समझ में? ठीक है? So जब हमें इस तरह का होता कि यहाँ पे हम horizontal में भी फर्क है और vertical में भी difference है, then we would have to find the final. क्योंकि इसमें directly magnitude पूछा हमने, resultant पूछा, we would have to do the Pythagoras theorem and give the final result. ठीक है? अगर theoretical होता, that is subjective होता, then we could have left it over here as well. Fine. Next. कौन सा?
Right. 48 was fine. For a long period of time, I don't think I had any doubts. इसके बाद, अच्छा, I left this question. मैं बता देता हूँ आपको. There was a pendulum question. So मतलब since it's forces and so I just skipped this. I skipped 47.
Okay. इसमें tension वाला भी तो आ रहा है. See, the second part of this is tension in the string midpoint. Like the A part makes sense क्योंकि वो हो चुका है हमारा पहले वाले में. But second is why the magnitude of tension in the string at the midpoint of oscillation is greater than the weight of the pendulum bob.
This is part B.
Yeah.
Explain why the magnitude of tension in the string at the midpoint of the oscillation is greater than the weight of the pendulum
bob.
Wait, tension in the string at the midpoint of the oscillation, which means it's. I'm not sure. Uh,
Draw the free body diagram na at that point.
वही बना रहा हूँ अभी.
काफी सिंपल है अगर सही से बनाया डायग्राम तो.
Wait, when they say midpoint, like midpoint of like halfway through the motion or halfway?
Halfway through the oscillation, halfway through the yeah, midpoint of the oscillation. It's oscillating from A to B. तो इन दोनों का जो midpoint आएगा.
So right in the when it's at the highest speed. Uh, Yeah, so I think this is the case because at that point, the tension is higher than the weight because if the weight was no wait no I'm not sure. So I explain कर दो.
So this is the reason why also in the previous question ऊपर वाले में मैंने दूसरा वाला बोला था because I thought the resultant would be different. That's not the case. See, essentially what's happening is when the ball is here, it has a speed of v, right? This is the tension, this is mg. Now the ball goes which way? In this direction. That means t should be equals to mg, या ऐसे लिखते हैं, t minus mg needs to be equals to mv square upon r. क्या ये समझ में आया? Because the resultant force between t minus mg, इनका जो resultant है, that is what is giving the centripetal acceleration or the centripetal force to the ball. ठीक है? So this becomes my centripetal force, and so this is my centripetal force का resultant, क्योंकि v square at this moment, this is the same.
All right.
नहीं आया समझ में?
नहीं समझ तो आ गया. The tension will have to be greater than mg, otherwise there is no force towards center.
Yeah, exactly.
नहीं समझ आ गया. मैं सोच रहा था कि why apply circular motion or the concept of circular motion at this point?
We are applying it at every point. We are applying it at every point. Okay. The question is.
So the tension will be greater throughout the motion. I don't see why they ask for the midpoint only.
नहीं, कोई जरूरी नहीं है कि throughout the motion होगा, क्योंकि यहाँ पे t cos theta, t sin theta, mg. T sin theta is providing the velocity. T sin theta is giving the acceleration. जस्ट अ सेकंड, ये वाला तो समझ गया ना यहाँ पे, ठीक है।
हाँ ये समझ में आ गया।
अब मैं इसका ट्राई कर रहा हूँ टू आंसर योर क्वेश्चन कि दूसरी जगह पे भी ये ज्यादा होगा क्या। तो मैं इसको हटा के this becomes theta, this becomes theta and g cos theta. This is theta. Yeah. So यहाँ पे this will be 0. So in other places, t is equals to mg cos theta. ठीक है, so the mg cos theta will obviously be less than mg, ठीक है, and this will, but theta जो है वो change होता रहेगा. So tension जो है, it is always balancing this. और जो बॉल को एक्सेलरेशन मिल रहा है, वो बॉल को एक्सेलरेशन the ball is getting the acceleration from here, which is g sin theta. क्योंकि एक फोर्स है उसके ऊपर, ठीक है, there is a force which is pushing it down, right? So that's why उसके ऊपर, क्योंकि एक फोर्स है in the direction of motion, and therefore उसके ऊपर एक acceleration आएगा, and acceleration is equals to g sin theta, and उसको हम v square upon r भी लिख सकते हैं at that moment. But of course g sin theta is constant, v जो है ये change होता रहेगा, क्योंकि v यहाँ पे आके maximum होगा.
All right.
आया क्या समझ में? See, g sin theta will also change because the acceleration is changing with the theta. जैसे जैसे theta change होगा वैसे वैसे ये भी change होगा.
हाँ.
ठीक है? At 92 max. So theta यहाँ पे तो 0 हो रहा है. As it's going down, it's getting 0. Acceleration comes from.
So why would mg sin theta be equal to mv square by r?
See, because यहाँ पे there is a force in the direction. There is a tangential force to the ball. ठीक है?
हाँ,
एक
नहीं, that's
tangential force है जो
understood,
उसको
yeah.
push कर रहा है. And that's why this force will be directly equals to m into a. M into a is essentially the force on the ball tangentially, which is equals to mv square upon r, क्योंकि a से ही तो v आ रहा है, ठीक है, यहीं से इसी के थ्रू हम लोगों ने डिराइव किया था v square upon r. इफ यू रिमेम्बर, हमने इसी तरह से डिराइव किया था कि अगर एक सर्कल में वो घूम रहा है और उसके ऊपर टेंजेंशियली एक एक्सेलरेशन है, तभी हमारे पास v, इसी को डिफरेंशिएट करके we got v square upon r.
Because
integrate करके, sorry.
I was, because so we know that, I mean, what I was thinking was mv square by r, f equal to mv square by r, that also in uniform circular motion, it indicates, it gives us the centripetal force, right?
Say that again.
In uniform circular motion,
Yeah.
f equal to mv square by r is the relationship equating the centripetal force and mv and r,
Yes.
right? And we know that at the end, at one of the ends, we know that it has no velocity. Its velocity is 0.
Yes.
So if we um, if we say that at one of the ends there is no centripetal acceleration or force, t minus mg cos theta should be equal to mv square by r, and it would be 0 because velocity is 0. In any case, t minus mg cos theta is saying in these two forces you subtracted, you will get, at the end, you will get the centripetal force, the net centripetal force. Or what, yeah, I didn't need to say net. And if we equate that to mv square by r, where v is 0, we know that at the end, in a sort of like a pendulum motion, there is no centripetal force.
सोचने में गड़बड़ कर रहे हैं यार. We're missing something. ये इतना complicated नहीं है.
हम question क्या कहते थे, but can you like recap? We were trying to find why we were trying to say why at some other point in the motion,
Yeah.
it is
So
possible for there to be no
we started with this कि y is t, or explain why t is more than mg at the center point of the oscillation. This was what we were trying to solve, and we came to this. यहाँ पे हमारा ये निकला कि भाई t minus mg will be equal to the centripetal force will be equals to ma, और उसको हम mv square upon r की तरह लिख सकते हैं. तो यहाँ से हमारे पास जो t है that comes out, t जो है it comes out as mg plus mv square upon r, which is obviously more than the weight. Weight से ज्यादा है, ठीक है. So now you asked कि ये तो फिर हर जगह पे ही होना चाहिए, then why are we asking for a particular point?
Fine, I was wrong to say that, because if we write t minus mg cos theta equal to mv square by r, and at the end point where v is 0, it has to be 0, meaning there is, तो हो तो गया.
क्लियर नहीं हो रहा ना. See, अगर हम यहाँ पे लेते हैं, let's talk about the edge case. Edge case पे v will be 0. अगर v मेरा 0 है, if v is 0, T is just equals to mg cos theta at that point. Okay. See, यहाँ पे हम ये गड़बड़ कर रहे हैं कि at the edge point, edge case पे, we are considering कि v square this is equals to 0. अगर v मेरा 0 है वहां पे, तो we are considering कि force भी 0 है, which is not true. ठीक है? The force is dependent on acceleration, and acceleration हो सकता है कहीं पे भी जब हमारा velocity 0 हो, that point can still have acceleration, right? This is what happens when we throw a ball up. When we throw a ball up, at a point it reaches velocity as 0, but उसके ऊपर एक downward acceleration तब भी होता है.
So वो तो समझ में आ गया. And in this case, at the edge case, mg sin theta is the force.
Yeah, यहाँ पे एक force है tangentially, जहाँ पे g sin theta would be the force on it, or the g sin theta would be the acceleration of it.
Right. But we've answered the question now. But we've answered. So, like we said, वो हमने पहला लगा करा कि tension will be great, or हाँ, tension will be greater at the midpoint than mg, and that will be the case for every point except the edge cases.
Edge case में तो होना ही चाहिए ना. क्या हो रहा है यार? कुछ मिस कर रहे हैं. We'll come back to this. I'll write this down. कभी कभार मेंटल ब्लॉक आ जाता है, तो एक क्वेश्चन को जब बहुत देर तक ट्राई करते हैं तो we come to a saturation point. थोड़ी देर उसको छोड़ देना चाहिए.
Yes.
And funnily, this is not just for problems of physics or mathematics. This is true for universal problems. Universal as in, if you're tackling any kind of problem, this works.
Sir, SAT में इतना होता है जब practice test देते हैं.
Sorry?
SAT जब देते हैं ना, तो मतलब जैसे practice test दे रहे हैं, और एक question आ नहीं रहा, but you're egoistic.
हाँ, वही तो issue होता है.
You waste all your time and.
Yeah, totally. That's where preparation comes in. That's why it becomes important. ठीक है? तो उसमें, did you understand the question? मतलब what the question was asking? जो अपन सोच रहे थे, I don't even know if we were thinking it right. ठीक है? हो सकता है कि हमने उसको फ्रेम ही गलत तरीके से किया कि वो ज़्यादा क्यों है. ठीक है? तो maybe I'll work on it and I'll get, मतलब थोड़ा उसमें clarity आनी चाहिए कि क्या हुआ. Next time तक हो जाएगा. ठीक है? Let's move on to the next one, which is C. Pendulum bob is moved to one side until its center is 25 millimeters above its rest position. Show that speed. इसमें potential energy करके आएगा. This is very simple.
But we don't know the mass
potential
of the
energy क्या है, तो
pendulum
हम drop कर सकते हैं अभी के लिए.
So we don't know the mass up till part 1.
Sure.
We only get to know in the second part इसका mass क्या है.
The speed of pendulum bob is at the midpoint of the oscillation is this. now तो mass की जरूरत नहीं है मुझे actually. ठीक है? Because mgh again, वो mgh जो होता है, this is what potential energy is, and हम उसको equate कर देंगे kinetic energy से, तो m gets cancelled out, so the v becomes 2gh कर देंगे.
Of course.
ठीक है? That's why. Center of pendulum bob is this, below the support. Calculate the magnitude of the tension of the string when the pendulum bob is vertically below the point of suspension.
I mean, we know the mass, we also know the velocity.
Length आ गया. हाँ, ठीक है. तो हमें क्या चाहिए? बस टेंशन चाहिए. टेंशन is equals to mg plus mv square by r. we know everything in the thing. ठीक है, m पता है, g पता है, v इसमें दिया हुआ है, या सॉरी हमने ढूंढ लिया था ऊपर वाले में, and r पता है which is 0.8 meters.
Right.
ठीक है. D, point of suspension ये वाला किया हुआ है हम लोगों ने. ठीक है. Frequency for each value of the driving frequency, steady constant amplitude is reached. The oscillation of pendulum is lightly damped. On the axis below, sketch a graph to show the variation A with F. So we've already done this in waves में हम कर चुके हैं. याद है क्या ये?
No, I remember a question like this.
You don't remember the concept behind it. This is pure
Amplitude
resonance.
and frequency. Those are the axes, right? Amplitude and frequency.
Resonance का concept लगेगा.
Oh, acha. As frequency increases and when you reach a certain harmonic, your amplitude will shoot up.
Yes. ठीक है. So it will be like this, something like this. Okay, so there'll be a big hump in the middle, which will show that we've reached the natural frequency. ठीक है. और उसके पास में again, this is all मतलब it's not ऐसा नहीं कि एकदम से जाके यूं एकदम से हो जाता है. ठीक है. It is always like this, but obviously
Right.
there's an escalation as we get closer and closer to the natural frequency. Okay. Water वाला भी किया हुआ है, same thing. It shifts downwards and to the left, which is the E part. We've done that as well. It shifts downwards क्योंकि amplitude कम हो जाता है, and to the left because natural frequency भी जल्दी आ जाती है. Speed slow हो जाती है. Speed slow होने से natural frequency is also lowered.
ठीक है. समझ में आ गया.
ठीक है. Wavelength बढ़ जाता है क्योंकि
48 was about momentum. This one was fine. The blast wale are about energy transformations though.
Sorry?
No, I'm just saying 48 was fine. Uske C and D, I believe, has to do with energy.
Yeah. Energy transformation है.
So should we move on or should we do this?
नहीं, let's move on. Next class में मैं energy start कर दूंगा. So you can start doing these questions as well. Okay, it's very simple, but I wanted to do the motion and force wale questions first.
Right.
So that they are through and we are really clear on them.
Okay.
49th आ गया था?
49. Arey yaar. I need to download this. 49 a net force of magnet 4 newtons action about 3 kg. This is about impulse.
Yeah.
ये हो तो जाना चाहिए, मैंने करा हुआ है.
Net force of magnitude 4 newtons acts on a body of mass 3 kg for 6 seconds. The body is initially at rest. Which of the following is the speed of the body after the 6 seconds interval? ठीक है. So ये simple है. Acceleration के बारे में हुआ है ये. Essentially F is equals to ma बता रखा है जिसमें v हमें final दिया हुआ है.
समझ में आ गया. हाँ.
ठीक है. Sorry, t दिया हुआ है. Sorry.
So with the force given and the mass दिया हुआ है, we'll find the acceleration which takes place for 6 seconds.
Yes. So acceleration मिलके 6 seconds से निकाल के we will get the v and u is given as 0. So वहाँ से हमारे पास easily आ जाएगा. So this is 4 by 3 into 6. So 8 meter per second आ गया D. Next. 50th आ गया था. Circular car moves from X to Y, semicircular path. Radius of the path is this. Time taken to complete the trip is 50 seconds. What is the following? Clearly shows the magnitude of average velocity and the magnitude of average speed.
Right. So average speed is displacement over time. Or So that you'll just, it says yeah, so 250 by 50 is your average speed, and average velocity कैसे
Yeah, radius of the path is given to me as 250.
radius दिया, oh no, अच्छा, sorry, so it's 2 pi r
by 2. 2 pi r by 2 करेंगे, we will get the distance. Distance upon time करेंगे, that will be my average speed. Displacement हम निकालेंगे, which is 2r. So 2r upon time will be 2r will be the displacement. Displacement upon time will give me the average velocity. आ गया?
So it's b.
ठीक है, हाँ, जो भी आता है वो. Fine.
Right. 250.
क्या ये सब किए नहीं है क्या?
So मैं करता हूँ and then I just have to remember them because I've done this question before also.
कब before?
I know it's something I can solve.
अरे but that's not the point यार. Two steel balls of mass m and 2m. अब मैं तो इतनी बार करता हूँ फिर भी मेरे पास सब लिखा हुआ रहता है. कौन सा क्वेश्चन क्या है? Even each one of the answers have been written.
Or at constant speeds in tube filled with oil, so the following can be compared the magnitudes of the net force of the drag force resistance on the ball.
Which the following correctly compares the magnitude of the net force and of the drag force on the two balls. Yes.
Net force and drag force have to be same.
Why do they have to be same?
Because they're falling at a constant speed. That's what I wrote for my answer.
Constant speed पे आ रहे हैं तो force no. It's not constant.
The mass won't matter. They're gonna face the same resistance.
See, the net force will be the same. Okay, the net force will be the same, which is equal to 0 essentially, because we're constant speed पे move कर रहे हैं. And drag force will not be the same. Drag force is directly proportional to drag force जो होता है वो directly proportional होता है m से. Yeah, the drag force will not be the same. Okay, so what happens is, I think ये अपन ने किया नहीं था drag force में. So what happens is drag force has this really cool ability. Again, it's like friction. Okay, so it changes, it shifts itself. When an object is falling, so when a skydiver, I think skydiver ही बोलते हैं, when they fall, what happens is there's a drag force opposing that person or the object, right? So if you literally jump from a plane, what happens is you start going down and there is a drag force which is applied against you. So to a certain extent you accelerate, okay, but as you are accelerating, your drag force is also increasing at the same time. At one point you reach
terminal velocity, right?
You reach a point where the drag force is able to basically, क्या बोलेंगे, the drag force is equal to your weight, right? Because when you're falling, when you're free falling, the only force on you is your weight. ठीक है? So mg, when the drag force becomes equals to mg, what's gonna happen? The net acceleration on you will be 0.
Right.
If the net acceleration on you will be 0, you will now fall with a constant velocity.
Huh. This I know.
So constant velocity say you start falling down. So now what is happening? If I'm falling with a constant velocity. That means I have zero acceleration. If my acceleration is zero, therefore m पे dependence होगा. Now the question becomes कि drag force में m का dependence है कि नहीं है, but यहाँ पे है. क्या ये समझ में आया?
So no wait, because the relationship I am seeing is कि as your so free fall, right, as your velocity, as you're accelerating, meaning your velocity is increasing over time, that increases drag force.
Yeah.
Right. So the only thing the only thing m is deciding what that constant velocity will be.
Yeah.
So
उससे क्या
how
फर्क
the
पड़ता है?
drag
हमें तो
force,
ये बताना है कि वो सेम है कि नहीं है. जब masses, अगर दो ऑब्जेक्ट के masses अलग हैं and the drag force applied on them are different, they have to be different because the drag force is directly proportional to mass. आ गया ना यहाँ से? Yes. Say I have two objects. Okay, ये capital M है, ये small m. Now they both fall. दोनों के ऊपर acceleration same है, which is g, but weight, that is the force, is different on both of them. Correct? Now, right now they are accelerating, but इनके ऊपर एक drag force भी है. Now, when they start falling with a constant velocity, at that time what is happening? D is equals to the corresponding
right, now I understand.
weights. The corresponding weights. ठीक है? Because जब वो force equalize होगा, ऊपर वाला force और नीचे वाला force, only then I can fall with a constant velocity. And so my force has to equalize.
All right.
Right? And whatever velocity at that force equalizes, उसको हम escape velocity बोलते हैं, by the way. ठीक है?
No, I think I'm pretty sure that's called terminal velocity.
Yeah, sorry, terminal velocity. My bad. Escape velocity is for gravitation. My bad. That's for gravitation. ठीक है? काफी कभी-कभार terms interchange हो जाते हैं. Thanks for correcting.
Yeah, I only remember because Dad was talking about escape velocity, so I know they're not the same. We recently.
Escape velocity is for a rocket, or when we essentially are going out of, we are going against gravity. तब होता है. ठीक है? तो अभी work energy के बाद देखते हैं करेंगे तो. So यहाँ पे terminal velocity आती है, which is a fixed velocity that the object is moving. ठीक है? So यहाँ पे we can clearly see that this is directly proportional to mass, and so the drag force will be different for.
Understood, sir.
ठीक है? But net force same क्यों है?
Because it is falling at a constant speed.
It is falling at a constant speed, or essentially it can only fall at a constant speed when both the forces equalize, and if both the forces equalize, the net force on it is automatically zero. ठीक है?
So we could think of this in terms of buoyancy also, right? Because the
it is
larger
a form of buoyancy only. So as I said, all fluids show buoyancy, and drag force is just buoyancy of the air. ठीक है?
Right.
Air के लिए हम drag force बोलते हैं या air resistance बोलते हैं. बाकी buoyancy का ही concept है in a different form. ठीक है? उसका एक नया नाम दे दिया बस हम लोगों ने.
Right. 52 is repeated. 52 is repeated.
42. Sorry, 52. My bad.
जाते रहता है. Nothing. I have my sheet open in the phone and it keeps glitching up and down. 53 is fine. 54 is fine. Sir, 55 एक बार देखना.
ये तो वर्क के ऊपर है, तो अभी नहीं करना है.
Okay, yeah, sorry. So क्या वो वर्क करा हुआ है तो मतलब more or less आता है तो वो attempt कर ही लेता हूँ मैं.
कर ले, but it's fine. अभी अपन ने नहीं किया तो I don't want to discuss half.
Right.
With half knowledge. ठीक है? half knowledge is more harmful than no knowledge.
I mean,
You understand why?
I mean, because it's better to know, because if you know about something a little bit, then you're not seeing the big picture, and you can go wrong.
What's the big picture?
Big picture in the sense, if you like know the name of a term and you use that, but you don't know what it actually means. I mean, it's hard to put into words.
वही तो मजेदार बात है. See, suppose you go to a doctor and he has half knowledge, ठीक है? So he checks your stomach and you have like a stomach ache, and he checks your stomach and says कि अच्छा this is just basic gas or whatever, and gives you a pill, and he didn't look at the other symptoms that you might be having, which could be a low blood pressure or something, ठीक है? And that can be a catastrophic problem. That means it can escalate. That medicine or the condition can escalate because that doctor didn't have proper knowledge about the whole system, okay, or how the body kind of functions internally, right? Whereas a person who doesn't have any knowledge, which could be your neighbor, okay, or your mom or your dad, कि यार नहीं पता मुझे, now let's find an expert who can help us, which is essentially to go to the right doctor. Right. So that's like the easiest way to explain this, and this is true for anything. Okay, so if you know only half physics, which could be half a concept, you'll do a lot of mistakes in it because you don't fully understand it. Okay, rather than someone who's starting at zero. Acha, so this is the first problem, that we make mistakes like this. Second problem is the arrogance that comes with it. Okay, so because if we know something is like this, and now someone else wants to tells us कि अच्छा you are wrong, the arrogance and the ego kind of stops us from improving ourselves or accepting the right thing. Okay, that's why it's said like this.
59.
59. कर लिया ये. We've done this.
But I'm unsure about some things. Just say this graph. Like, can you like just do this question? I just want to see if my rationale was correct.
I took it as an example, most probably, yeah.
This one?
Yeah, I remember taking possibly this one only. I remember the upper part. I remember the graph as well.
This has to do with kinetic energy as well.
Which one?
I'm talking about 59.
59 का ही बात कर रहा हूँ अभी. इसमें kinetic energy कहाँ आ रहा है?
आएगा इसके बाद 20% of the ball's initial kinetic energy dissipated.
तो उससे कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ता इतना. The question doesn't really involve kinetic energy that much. करके बताऊँ क्या फटाफट?
हाँ वो भाई. I just want to see like quickly if I.
Which one? सारा?
हाँ सारे ही कर लो.
Okay, so the net force on net force of magnitude F acts on this. Define the impulse of the force. Okay, so impulse is essentially force into delta T.
Yes.
Okay, upon an object, or the change in momentum in a very short time on an object, उसको हम impulse बोलते हैं. ठीक है? Now, the ball of mass this traveling horizontally with this, it strikes a vertical wall, rebounds horizontally due to the collision with the wall. 20% of the ball's kinetic energy is dissipated. First, show that the ball rebounds from the wall with a speed of 1.97 meter per second. Okay? So I'm not doing it, but it's very simple. Speed हमें दिया हुआ है, m दिया हुआ है, half mv square, mu square would be the initial kinetic energy. Okay? The final kinetic energy is 80% of the original one.
Right.
20% अगर loss हो गया, तो जो final आएगा मेरे पास, it will be equal to 80% of the original one, that is 80 upon 100 into half mu square. Okay?
And then we'll solve for V.
Then we'll solve for V. We'll equate it with half mv square और वहां पे हाफ m कैंसिल आउट हो जाएगा दोनों तरफ से, सो 80/100 into u square is equals to v square, और वहां से हम निकाल, ठीक है। तो वहां से स्पीड आ जाएगा हमारे पास। show that the impulse given to the ball by the wall is this much, ठीक है। अब impulse कैसे निकालते हैं हम?
Why the force into the small period of time?
Yes, force into a small period of time, but we do not know the force, so how will we figure it out?
Wait.
Concept समझ, impulse क्या था कि force into time in a very short interval, right? Which is also equal to the change in momentum in that short interval. So the change in momentum के लिए हमें क्या चाहिए? Mass और velocity चाहिए, initial और final.
अच्छा.
We have all of these, so we just have to get that. ठीक है? So mass mv minus mu करेंगे, m into v minus m
by delta t.
u, ठीक है? Final minus initial, वहाँ पे वो rate of change in momentum आ जाएगा, और उसको हम that is essentially our impulse.
नहीं, लेकिन मुझे ये समझ नहीं आया, हम डेल्टा टी का क्या करेंगे?
कुछ नहीं करेंगे। डेल्टा टी हमें क्यों चाहिए? In this case, I want impulse. Impulse.
So change in momentum. No, we don't want impulse. We want. अच्छा, no, we want the impulse.
हाँ, ये impulse होता है. Force is not the impulse. This value is the impulse, which is equals to delta p.
हाँ, समझ में आ गया.
ठीक है?
I made a stupid mistake.
हाँ. Okay, so this is done. C वाला देखते हैं. Ball strikes at a wall. Ball strike the wall at time equals to 0. Leaves the wall at time equals to capital T. Sketch the graph shows this. F that the wall exerts on the ball is assumed to vary with time. Time capital T is measured electronically to equals to this much. Use the impulse given in B2 to estimate the average value of F. ठीक है? So हमें ये पता है, टाइम हमें दे दिया गया है, डिवाइड करना है, and I will get the average value of F.
Okay.
Got it? ठीक है? I know the impulse. I have been given the time. I just have to divide it and I will get the F.
हाँ, तो इसमें मुझे थोड़ा प्रॉब्लम हुआ था. But that's fine now. ये कौन सा है? 60 is fine. 61, 62. This is 65, sir.
ठीक है, आज के लिए लास्ट करते हैं. Constant force of magnitude F applied to mass m for interval time t delta t, the magnitude of impulse given to the mass equals.
अच्छा नहीं, हाँ,
F delta t है तो C है.
हाँ, अब समझ में आ गया, but I didn't get it पहले.
66 भी देख लेते हैं. Two cars, different masses, connected by a spring, pushed together. Then the spring is compressed. After the carts are released, the cart of mass m moves with velocity v. Change in momentum of masses m is how much? क्या होगा?
Two carts.
Capital M, sorry.
They push together such that the spring is compressed. After the cart, the cart of mass m moves with velocity v. Yeah, it should be B, I think. Minus small mv. Yeah, it's B.
ठीक है, मैंने पूरा इसीलिए किया जैसे कि कंफ्यूजन नहीं होना चाहिए. दिस इज वेयर वी आर यूजिंग कंजर्वेशन ऑफ मोमेंटम. सो इनिशियल मोमेंटम इज 0 because none of the masses are moving, right? So total mass into zero velocity because none of the masses are moving. Initial momentum, final momentum will be equal to initial momentum. तो यहाँ पे m, कैपिटल M V M ये हमें नहीं पता है और m v हमें दिया हुआ है, and we are considering that direction of the velocity as positive. We have considered the direction of this velocity as positive. ठीक है, इसलिए हम पॉजिटिव ही ले रहे हैं. ठीक है, तो यहाँ से हमारे पास आया कि v कैपिटल M का इतना आएगा. जब हमारे पास v आ जाएगा तो नाउ वी वांट डेल्टा p.
Right.
ओके, अगर हम यहीं पे छोड़ देते तो ये गलत है because we want the change in momentum for capital M. ठीक है, तो डेल्टा p निकालना है which is essentially m into velocity minus 0 because that was the initial one and that's why I get minus mv.
So I mean, I didn't think of it like that, but I just said ki since they're compressed, there is no moment. I mean, there is no momentum vector in play right now, right? The moment they're left, then they're allowed to open up. There is one vector this way, which is capital M into V, and there is one vector in this way, just small m into V. So if you treat them like vectors, the only change in the the only change in momentum will be for the bigger mass will be minus mv. So I just thought of it like that.
Which is not bad. That is also fine.
Because I saw you do all of this, I'm like, मैं तो सोचा ही नहीं है.
So I did this for clarity. ठीक है, उस वाले में थोड़ा सा कंफ्यूजन भी हो सकता है कभी कभार. ठीक है, ऑल्दो इट्स परफेक्टली ऑल राइट. ठीक है, क्योंकि हम जीरो से स्टार्ट कर रहे हैं तो अगर एक वेक्टर हमें दिया हुआ है तो दूसरा वेक्टर भी उसके इक्वल ही होगा. ठीक है, बट उस केस में यहाँ पे दिस वर्क्ड बिकॉज वी वर डायरेक्टली बीन आस्क्ड द चेंज इन मोमेंटम. बट अगर वेलोसिटी पूछते तो क्या होता, वेलोसिटी ऑफ कैपिटल एम पूछते तो फिर क्या करता. ऐसा समझ में, तो वेलोसिटी में करने में कंफ्यूजन होता है. आई एम नॉट सेइंग यू कांट डू इट, मगर इफ यू अंडरस्टैंड कि अच्छा ये डेल्टा p है और डेल्टा p is equals to this, then you can figure out the velocity also because the velocity is just ये वाला हमने velocity तो निकाला है. ठीक है, तो यहाँ से हम निकाल सकते हैं बट वो क्लैरिटी होनी चाहिए. So what you did is you jumped to this spot. ठीक है, और rather you went from here to उल्टा कि जब वो एक ही मूव कर रहा है तो दूसरा उल्टा मूव करना चाहिए, इतना ही इक्वली होना चाहिए because they began with 0. ठीक है, वहां से कर सकते हैं, that is completely good. ठीक है, but do not ever start checking the answer कि अच्छा ये नहीं होगा, ये नहीं होगा. A lot of people do that they start checking the answer. अच्छा ये भी नहीं हो सकता, ये भी नहीं हो सकता, तो चार में से 3 नहीं हो सकता.
Don't do elimination.
हाँ, don't do elimination. Yes.
Okay.
ठीक है, elimination से आंसर सही आ सकता है but that does not help you improve your concepts.
Right.
That's right. ठीक है, so we'll stop here. अपने 65 तक हो गए questions, so remember that. Next time we'll start with work energy power. तो उसके भी फिर questions हम साथ में कर लेंगे.
All right.
ठीक है.
Thank you for the class.